Welcome back to the Muddy Water Podcast.
Let's get into it.
Alrighty.
No, these were good beans.
Lemon fog is outrageous.
That's not what I'm saying.
It was the worst coffee.
It was the
I have
worst
ever
coffee.
experienced.
It was literally a sludge.
Yeah, it was so gross. Anyway, yeah. Can I get a pompadour?
I'm looking at pompadour.
You'll see this.
How do you spell it, though?
Yeah, how do you...
Palm.
I said, how do you spell
I'm
it?
Batman.
Yes.
I love Taylor Swift.
Not Frank.
Who the hell came up with that? I totally forgot I did that.
That's it for this.
All right, that's it.
This is great. This is a great day off.
Sup,
Nah, dude.
What's up, Lil B?
Life's a living hell, and you're here, dude. Anyway, let's get into it.
All right. Welcome back to the Muddy Water Podcast. We are officially on YouTube and SoundCloud, so that's pretty exciting. Austin, how many views on YouTube do we have?
Let me check real quick. I haven't even listened to it on.
I think YouTube, we have 51 views.
Hold up. I'm getting you the up to
Solid
date
numbers.
right now.
All right.
We got 54 views.
54
on our first.
views.
Is there a way for us to check our SoundCloud plays?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Here, let me check it.
How many subscribers do we have?
We got 4.
4
including
subscribers. So if you guys have not subscribed, I recommend you go on the YouTube and subscribe
And
to...
those 4 subscribers,
Me.
I
And
love
given
you.
that we're probably talking to those 53 people right now,
I love all 53 of you so much.
we can fill a room with that many people.
I have
Because
not
we can fill this
subscribed
room.
yet.
If there was 53 people in this room right now, I'd be like,
Whoa.
why is there 53 people in this room?
Yep.
Can you imagine just
That-
like sitting right here and there's 53 people just listening?
They're all sitting
A
in their
live
chairs,
audience.
standing
That
over.
actually puts a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of pressure.
I would honestly walk out.
So
I'm done.
I'm going to say
This
this.
is stupid.
None of you listened to me last week when I said that we did not want any recognition for this at the end of the episode.
I listened. I literally.
You never clicked on it on YouTube. I just listened on the airdrop.
I listened to it. And I loved it.
I think I listened to it on SoundCloud to see what it sounded like.
I listened to it once because Jared forced me to.
Well, I was so excited that I started making little 15-second videos for us to promote because I love this episode.
What was the name of our first episode on
Nice
SoundCloud?
to meet
Nice
us.
to meet us.
Isn't that like a little arrogant? I don't know. Nice to meet us.
We have 22 plays. And we
22
Really
plays
nice.
on
We got-
SoundCloud.
Ha!
All right. Can we see
we
who
have
those...
8 likes, and we have no. I can't see that, but
Can we see who liked it?
no, but I can go like it.
Stephanie liked it.
Oh, I have to log in. Okay, I'll
Who's
like it
Stephanie?
later. We have 1
I don't know.
repost, and we have
Who knows?
1
Can't look at
like.
him.
Oh no, I am one of the likes actually because I did do that.
All right.
I am not. I am sorry.
Oh, well, real quick though,
Yes.
Yeah.
how did we come up with Muddy Water Podcast?
I don't
Where
know,
that
but
name
it's,
That's a
comes from?
great
The-
question.
it's a terrible name.
I thought so too.
Guys,
Not it.
Yeah, dude.
so this was something.
No, it was a great name because we were coming up with names
we
for
were
a podcast.
coming up with awful
But, like,
names in the beginning.
What's
Yeah,
the
we were.
meaning of muddy waters? I'm still confused.
'Cause,
about
like-
that.
No, because I think you.
I
came
thought
up
it
with
was
the
Muddy
name.
No, I
Waters, and
didn't.
now it's
Yes, you
just
did.
No
Muddy
way.
Water.
Did
Yeah, I thought it was Muddy
Now
Waters.
It's Muddy Water.
I thought it was Muddy Waters from the
Yeah, I thought it was
When
going to
I
be
was
Muddy Waters.
working
but
on the
then it was Muddy
graphic,
Water.
because we were planning this for a long
time ago.
way back then, and we
Yeah.
just never got it off the.
Yeah.
We just never could kick it off. But
Well, it's
but back
hard.
then we were trying to figure out. So I have notes of our podcast back in the day, and let's see,
Solid.
because I was like, because Levi and I were sitting in Joe's. Durango Joe's.
Yeah, and we're like, dude, we should start a podcast.
Let's start a
and then you're like,
podcast,
we
and
should
we-
totally start a podcast. Then we started coming up with
So
names.
it was just us two sitting at Durango Joe's, and we're just like, so what's our name? And we just started like going off on it, and we just could not figure out. So I have the list of names.
Dude,
that we
read
were
them
trying
off.
to think
Read off the names.
until Kevin came along, because I really think you did name it.
Maybe
Muddy
this will
Water.
be. Maybe we'll let our 53
Anyways.
subscribers or our 53 listeners decide the name out of the
in our next
crop.
YouTube video.
You should comment
drop,
below.
Yes.
Drop a
comment
comment on
below.
what we should be called.
Your favorite name. If you like Muddy
But-
Water, just be like, keep it the same. But if you like one of these new names, drop it in the
They're
comment.
not going to like these new names.
Let's
but
hear it.
Here we go. All right, name number 1,
bet.
Clarity.
I like it. I like
Okay,
it.
no,
Okay.
I know. I remember that one because we were listening to the song "For All Seasons," the song "Clarity,"
Oh,
and I was like, "What
yes.
about this Clarity?" Because we were listening to that song at the time. Clarity is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should. You read them off, and then we'll all give them like a rating, like 1 or 0 to 10,
Good idea.
That's
Yes.
a good idea.
Good idea.
in a circle.
All right.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
a circs.
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 Let's go into circs.
Can we actually go in a circle this time?
Yeah, we're going into circs. So it's
Clockwise?
Counter.
Yeah.
Clock.
it's clockwise.
Why not?
Clockwise?
Do what you want,
All
Jerry.
right. We'll go to you first.
Okay.
Kevin. All right. Let's start with Clarity.
8. I love it. It's a good name.
5.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5
What happened
too.
to clock-
Yeah, what happened to the
What happened
circs,
to
dude?
clockwise?
Yeah. Didn't we
I know,
just say?
It
Lead
says
I didn't
circs.
go.
'Cause we were still on Kevin.
I
Well,
said
maybe
my
I was
answer.
going this way in the circle.
All right. Shout it out.
5.
8.
5.
I say 5 too.
Wow.
Not good.
I guess I
Compass Rose.
Terrible.
0. 0. Compass
one. No.
Rose. That's awful.
Wait,
Who the
hold-
hell came up with that?
For real.
I
though.
did.
You came up
That's
I
bad.
did because no.
That was terrible.
So I was doing a youth lesson all about how where our heart needs to be and how our heart should be on Christ, and that in the middle of a compass, the heart of the compass is called the compass rose, and so my youth lesson was called the compass rose on how you need to direct your heart to God, and I was working on that, and I was just like, dude, compass rose, because I was already working on it in the youth
I
lesson.
like
called
the
that.
lesson. I don't
I know,
care
I'm not
for
saying
the
it's a good name, but the lesson was dope.
Anyway,
Compass Rose.
The lesson was
Next.
dope. Okay, so
That's a 1 for me.
0.
I'd give that probably a 1.
that's a 10. No,
Hell no.
it's
My
not. It's not a
gosh.
10.
Well, I appreciate your.
It's not a 10. It's probably like a 2.
Anyways,
but the
let's
lesson behind it was really cool. Okay, it's a 2.
Dirty Clarity.
That is so bad.
That's worse than
I
Compass
said the 2,
Rose.
so
Jeez.
that's getting up there.
Clarity?
Dirty.
Dirty clarity.
Dirty Purity.
No. Okay. Wait.
No.
I remember why they're all dirty and why we came up with muddy water.
Yes. Okay.
Because
now it's-
our whole thing was like how life is rough, life is hard, nothing's always clear. Things are always foggy, and it's hard to get to the conclusion, get to the end of things.
Right.
Couldn't we
that's
have
why we
done
started
something
coming
with
up with,
fog?
like-
I mean, muddy water just sounds so gross.
Well, I mean, like think of it like you're stuck in mud and you're sinking down because of the problems that you're just sitting and waiting on.
Well,
No, I
Or
understand.
is it
I like
It's
the idea behind it. I just think that it's dirty. Like we could have done foggy something. That sounds cool.
London
Foggy
fog.
water.
The
Fog
London
Lake.
fog was outrageous.
London Fog Podcast.
Remember that?
I don't know.
Remember in
Farmington Fog.
Gotham by
remember in Brew
Gaslight.
Crew where I was trying to figure out the names too, and you're like Father's Fog.
I
was like,
wanted to
Oh.
name our Bible
That's a
study
good one.
Father's Fog.
Ooh.
And for some reason, we went with Brew Crew.
Link.
Because maybe I don't understand
I
Father's
think-
fog.
And to be honest, I love Garrett, but I don't
What
think
do-
he
wait,
liked
what do you mean?
Father's Fog.
Yeah, I don't think he liked Father's Fog.
I don't think he liked
And he
Father's
just-
Fog.
he liked the
And
Brew
then-
Crew,
and
and he's
he
went
is
with it.
like this. The,
I like Brew Crew.
Brew Crew is a cool
Brew
name.
Crew Podcast.
It just never
could have
went
been
anywhere.
cool.
that would have been cool too.
Maybe we'll change it.
Should we ask
Brew
Garrett
Crew,
for that
one of
name?
the names. If you like Brew Crew, add it in the comments.
It's not. Garrett doesn't own the name. Does
If you
he?
like Dirty Purity, comment that.
All right, we don't need to do this anymore.
No, that's a 0.
All right, but I really do believe Kevin said muddy waters,
I
and
don't
he
think
said
so,
something
man.
about water being like in scripture, water being something, right?
I feel like I would remember if I
I-
said that.
Water.
Water?
Because I remember you came into the Joe's with us,
Yeah.
but like later on, when we
Uh-huh.
were all trying to figure out like what we were going to talk about, what the podcast was going to be like, and then you came in and you're just like, I think just dirty or muddy waters.
All right, so here's another name. If you like this name, add it in the comments below. and we can go from there.
Jeez.
Okay, ready, Kevin? This one's for you.
Okay.
Reckless and relentless.
Oh, I love it.
Hate it. Hate it.
Hate it.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Why
hate
do you?
it.
I want to actually know why.
yeah, why do you
love that
why do you
one.
hate that one?
Yeah, why do you
No,
love
I
that
want-
one?
I hate
love
it too.
how it pushes
yeah,
your button.
I
And I
hate it
realize
too.
why I hate
I
it.
love that it just.
I know
makes
why you
angry.
hate it as well, Austin.
I love why it makes you angry, but I want to know why do you not like reckless?
You want me to actually explain this?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll back you up on this.
Yeah, you should. So they came up with that name. I know why, because of the song Reckless Love. And I do not like that song because reckless is the wrong word. It does not describe God's love. It is essentially lying, and we are now singing a lie about God.
And a lot of churches, I know pastors, like worship leaders here in town that like straight up refuse to sing that song.
Good.
I also know worship leaders that don't even know what song that is. And I've heard people I know that this song has been pretty controversial.
Yes.
Like as to is this the best way to describe God's love? Personally, I don't think it is.
No. Correct. Well,
I understand.
Whoops. Sorry, I dropped the phone.
I understand though what they're going for.
I know what they're going for, but here's the
Yeah,
problem.
they were just trying to make like a new worship song that was different.
I understand.
No.
Here's the
Given
problem.
it sounds dope.
It
yeah.
The
sounds
song
great,
sounds really good.
but
Right.
it's a great worship
Especially
song.
when Jared plays the drums for it.
Thank you, guys.
But it is
That's
a
my
great-
favorite song to play on drums, no matter what.
Wow.
Just because you actually have
It
some
really
drums.
is, though.
But is a great worship song worth using that?
I think
right?
you could have changed that one word and it still would have been a good
You
song.
could have changed it to relentless, which is actually a perfect word for God's love because it is relentless. But reckless is
It's just iffy.
it's not. I don't really. According to the Bible, reckless is not the definition that the songwriter wants it to be, and therefore, I think it should have been changed.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too. It's like in dictionary, reckless is more of just like destructive.
Yes,
Or,
and especially in the
but-
Bible, every
but-
time it is mentioned reckless, it is destruction.
But in this case, reckless is just a way of saying,
But
like God, no matter what, is going to go find you, and like how that sermon that we tuned into on the porch when I shared it was about the story of Joshua and his wife Gomer. That Gomer was just this woman that just slept with tons of men while married to Joshua, and God wanted to use Joshua as an example to saying, like, you see how your wife is cheating on you and hurts you repeatedly, but through my love, my just
relentless
Relent-
love, correct?
right,
Relentless.
right.
That's my issue.
right.
They're using the wrong word.
Right.
That's
Even the
not
definition of reckless, I looked it up, is without thinking
Without
or caring
care.
about the consequences or the action.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that that's a good word.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a good
I
word.
don't think that. I think that there's a lot of songs out there that don't necessarily represent the Bible well either.
Sure.
That we sing in church every day.
Absolutely. Yeah. But this one.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And depending on the denomination of the church you go to, you will hear a wildly different crop of music.
Oh, absolutely.
Wild.
Oh, yeah. So true.
Absolutely.
I
100%.
I've been to churches where they might pick from like 10 songs each week, like straight up.
Yep.
And they got to sing 4.
Dude, the worst ones are when it's all like a cappella. And it's just a bunch of like old people up there singing.
I've never been
Like,
to one like that.
Dude, those kind of worship are like they're so hard.
You're saying like it's just a choir?
Yeah, just a choir. Those are like,
Old men choir?
yeah,
Or
like
okay.
just a bunch of old dudes standing up there. There's no instruments. They're all singing,
How?
and it's like old school hymns. Those
Kind of
are
like
oh my
See,
gosh,
I actually dig the hymns though.
those are hard for me. Cause like I love worship. I love like just freely being able to worship God, but like those at those times I have a hard time like getting into it. 'Cause it's just so old school.
You know what? What's interesting too is that like having a choir, like I would go to this church in upstate New York where my family lives, and like it's straight up like back of the Bible hymns
Yeah,
that you sing. The whole congregation sings them.
yeah. They have like
there's
the
no
hymn
worship
book,
leader.
and they just grab it and they open it
It's
up. and
just
sing along.
open up to this hymn, and then it's on a board.
Kind of like that though.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up that way too, for sure.
Those are hard.
Yeah, I mean, we still play drums
I
to
mean-
those hymns. My dad did.
There's
Having a
definitely
worship band is definitely a way that we've tried to make church more inviting. And a lot of churches, like if you look at like Catholic churches, like it's not made to look inviting in there. Like it's made to look
Catholic.
ceremonial.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Everybody's
A
all
lot of
dressed up
churches
to
are
the
that
nine.
way, whereas like Christian churches look very different from one another.
They do.
Some of them look like straight up coffee shops.
Yep.
And some of them actually, I think, try to have that vibe of like, this is a super inviting place, which is cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you like that vibe, or what would you prefer?
I think that if you're looking at it from the perspective of the, say the pastors of that church or the elders of that church, and they're thinking, because the only people that's going to matter for, in my opinion, are going to be people that are coming to church for the first time. And if they feel invited, they might want to come back. People that really care aren't going to care. I listened to, there was a sermon that Pastor Tim had at Grace Hill, and he was like, I know it's nice to come to church and have a coffee and bring it into the sanctuary, but what if we didn't have this building? Would I still see every face I see in this room? Like, what if we had to meet out in the boonies, in the hills? Would everybody still show up?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is a good question.
That's a good question.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer for most people. But
Or
it-
even like if you had to move your church somewhere else, where I mean, if you weren't able to afford the space, like say if this church right next door is World Harvest, right? If they're not able to afford it, maybe like they probably do, but just in the case like would they move somewhere smaller, and is that same congregation going to move with them?
Follow with them.
I know churches that meet in people, I mean, not personally, but I mean, I've seen videos and stuff on this where people meet in somebody's living room.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Yeah, dude,
the
my,
church.
my oldest brother, when he lived in Denver, they had this like super small little space that some business owner owned the building. And he's like, yeah, you guys can have this spot for free. And it was just this small little room. But they didn't have money to pay anybody. So it was just like one pastor leading it all. And he'd always put an ad on Craigslist. It was like, if you like to play music, meet at this spot and we're going to play music. And he didn't tell them like that it was worship music or anything. It's just people who love to play music and wanted to play music would come here and they'll learn the songs and they'll play worship. And like all those people then got saved by just loved the aspect of playing music.
I think
they just showed
music is important from that standpoint, that it can get people involved.
Yeah, the guy was like, I just love to play drums. So he brought his drum set with him and he started playing the drums. He's like, that's a really cool song. Then he started talking to the pastor about it and then the drummer got saved just because he wanted to play drums. It's really cool.
Interesting. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I could definitely say music is a huge factor to being saved. I really think like worship is.
Oh yeah,
one of the
worship
biggest
For
parts.
yourself personally, or are
Myself
you saying,
personally,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
Because I think
Because I don't think that it's a requirement whatsoever.
Oh, I don't.
I don't think it's
That's
the
not a
point. We've had this
requirement.
conversation before,
Absolutely.
and I'm not meaning to talk down on worship leaders or anything at all, because I think it's very valuable. However, I don't think
think
that it
it's
should take
valuable.
precedent in a church scenario.
Absolutely.
I totally think like if there's churches where nobody's talented musically,
Yeah.
are people not going to come?
And I would
That
hope,
goes back to the Booney scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and so,
Where's your heart when you're trying to go to church?
Yeah,
is it
if you
for
wanna show up
worship
and listen
or
to
is it
music-
for trying to learn?
Are you just going to go
Trying
and
to
try to
be a
get the best
disciple.
coffee on Sunday?
Exactly.
But if it gives more people an opportunity to either be involved, like if you look at like some kids that we all know, like they're 13 years old and they started singing at church,
Right.
and it was a great way to see kids feel like they belonged and they had a niche where they were important, and that's very important because some people really want to be involved in that way.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100% for sure. Everyone wants to feel loved and included, where they have a sense of belonging. Not where they're like, I don't know if we should even be here, if I'm even wanted here.
Right.
It's kind of tough for me to also, now that you brought that up, like, if I quit playing in worship right now,
Okay.
it would just be tough to be like, man, like, what do I do now? Like, so, I mean, like, no matter what, I mean, I love worship. There is days where I love just sitting.
Would you still go to church if you were not on the worship team?
I would still go to church for sure, but I just feel
Okay.
someone in that spot to where, like, I do want to do something for the church, but I can't play drums anymore or do worship or any kind of thing like that, you know, because I've always been on that team, right?
Right.
You know, if it's going outside and shaking someone's hand, maybe, I don't know. I mean, that's just a new or directing traffic.
Yeah. Parking cars.
Yep. Kevin's great at parking cars.
That was your job in LA, right?
That was
You were a
actually my
chauffeur?
job.
Is that really your job in
That-
LA?
That was his job.
That was my job in
I
LA.
never knew that.
Yeah.
You,
I
like, you
was
drove
the- what-
you drove some fancy stuff.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Like
I drove-
Porsches.
I drove a Tesla.
That's
Tesla
cool.
back in
Did you drive any Porsches?
Did you drive
no,
a Jeep?
so I only worked. I only worked there. Hey,
You only
Yeah,
lived
I
there
did-
for
I did
3
drive a
months,
Jeep.
right?
huh?
You only lived there for 3 months, right?
Yeah, not
parking
long
cars
at
for
all.
3 months?
I literally took my jacket off, and 10 seconds later, I got cold.
It is cold in here. My hands are freezing.
I was
I,
overheating, though.
There was the only like really cool thing. Well, I got to drive a Tesla. Well, that was cool. But there was this sports announcer on ESPN, and
Yeah.
he came by one of the restaurants. He drove this really nice big Jeep, and I got to park that one. And
Did
I
you
was
get to meet the guy?
I mean, he gave me a tip.
Oh,
I was like,
we have to find who this guy is.
he's on ESPN. That's what they were telling me.
Huh.
The valet people were telling me.
Yeah.
Because I don't, I don't watch ESPN.
Who's that guy that I see memes about where he's all like dressed up and I don't know who that guy is, but oh man, it's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. That's pretty rad though to actually park. I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably a lot of famous people he actually met. Probably just in
Maybe.
LA parking cars.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just never
How big was the
recognized
tip he gave
it.
you?
Oh, $20, but still, like $20 feet puts food on the table.
I was expecting
It
like
buys
a
me.
$100 bill. Or
It buys
something.
me one street taco from my local taco truck.
Do you think those
I
ESPN
always
announcers
paid
get paid a lot of money?
They would have.
dude.
I think they get. Yeah,
For,
I would
like,
assume.
NBA?
Yeah, you think
Oh,
so?
dude, they're making
Yeah.
a lot of money.
More than the NBA players?
Why did the NBA players like look at it as like a really good career after basketball? Not as more than basketball
Yeah,
players.
no.
The coaches don't make more than basketball players.
No way.
Dude, like Greg Popovich, the best coach, like his yearly salary is like the same as a bench player. Like he's not even making starter money.
Yeah, dude, like Tony Romo. He is no longer playing football, and he's a football announcer now.
But
For
they're
the
making
games.
legit money.
So-
Like they're
Oh,
not
yeah.
making like $50K a year
They're
or
not-
something. They're making like
They're not hurting by any means.
Tony Romo's probably making $250,000.
Probably. Anyway, all right. So
Anyway, yeah. Yeah.
let's talk about Christmas.
Christmas.
Christ
Hey, guys.
Moss.
Merry
Let's
Christmas.
talk about
Merry-
Jesus' birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Christ Moss.
Christ Moss.
More Christ.
That
baby.
was yesterday. Anyway, we're gonna go into circs,
All right.
and
Jeez.
We're gonna go to Circs, and you guys say like, "What do you got for Christmas?" If you guys have any kind of like family traditions,
Okay.
kind of thing like that.
Sure.
And, like, what'd you have for Christmas dinner?
How about you kick it off?
All right,
Yeah,
I'll
you,
kick it.
you kick it.
Okay, so for Christmas, I like to do. Mason still believes in Santa Claus,
Okay.
and
Typical.
so I like to make it that much more like magical for him. And so for on Christmas Eve, like we're sitting at the house getting ready. He's like in his Christmas PJs, and like we're reading Christmas stories, watching Christmas movies and stuff like that. I'm reading the story about Jesus' birth and all that stuff. And then while he's like brushing his teeth, getting ready for bed, I take some boots outside and I put it on the front porch and I cover it with like baking powder and like little red sprinkles and stuff,
Oh,
and a
dude.
note that says, I know when you're awake and I know when you're sleeping. I came by, but you're still up." And then I rang the doorbell like a lot, like ding, 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 ding. And then I came back inside, so Mason's like, "Who's at the door?" And it was like 9 o'clock at night, and I was like, "Dude, I don't know. Let's go check it out." He opens it up, and he sees like the little footprint of like looks like snow and like glitter and stuff. So he gets the note and he reads it. And he's like, "I gotta go to bed." And he like takes off
Wow.
running, jumps in his bed, and he was out like immediately. He was so excited for Christmas. And then I set up his Christmas like from Santa Claus. He got like, this really nice scooter because he wants to start like riding a scooter and stuff.
When
So-
do you think you're gonna break the news?
Dude, I don't know. I
What
was
are you
actually
talking about?
I was
That
actually
Santa Claus isn't real.
Wait,
I
What do you
wait.
think?
Shut up.
What,
Santa Claus isn't real.
Jared?
but, like no, I was actually just thinking about like when should I let him know?
I'm just kidding.
I was actually No, I was actually thinking about that. Like, when should I tell Mason like Santa Claus is not real? But then I was also like, dude, he's in public school.
Well, how
He's
did
in
you?
first grade.
I was that kid that believed in Santa Claus.
My
Oh,
dad
really?
would have never had that.
Yeah, same.
Really? You guys never had that?
Dude, I believed in Santa, but then my two other brothers were like, "Are you serious, bro?"
Do you know what kind of kid I was? I was the kid in 5th grade yelling at the other kids like, "You're stupid. Why do you believe in
See, that's messed up,
Santa's
dude.
not
You know what?
That's
at the not.
messed up.
How
You
is
know
it
what?
messed up?
It's
I'm
because
not
of
lying to
kids
them.
like you that made me stop believing in Santa
Good.
Claus.
You learned the truth because of people like me. Awesome.
All right,
I
anyway.
was having a great Christmas.
I have a
Anyway,
great Christmas every year.
We're gonna get
knowing
back to my
Jesus was
Christmas
born.
story, okay? So I set
Yeah.
up his Christmas gift and everything, and then in the morning when I he woke up super early and he's like, "Let's see if Santa came." But the night before, I saw this thing on Facebook where if you get like your shoes wet on the bottom, and then sprinkle baking powder on top of that and walk, it makes footprints of like your shoes.
Oh,
and So I
cool.
did that from like the fireplace to his stocking, and then like to the tree. So it looked like you see like where Santa walked. So he woke up the next morning, he saw like these footprints all over, and he was like freaking out. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Santa
Yeah.
came!" Then he ran to his like little plate to see if he ate his cookies and drank his milk, and like there's like little crumbs and stuff.
I
So
love.
yeah, it was just really cool to see like Mason's joy of like
I love it. I
Santa.
love the whole like going around the house, knocking on the door, and like Santa's knows.
Yeah,
where
like, I mean,
you
it's
are.
just
And
brings
make
him
go
so
to
much
bed.
joy. He's so
Yeah.
excited about.
Spill
Once
it,
you
Kevin.
have kids, you'll understand and be like, dude,
As soon as I have kids, I'm going to tell them the truth immediately, and I'm going to tell them they don't have to like be all stuck up like I was and telling other kids to shut up.
dude, it's
but
just so cool
I'm
to see
gonna
like
tell
his
them the truth.
joy of like.
You can have joy without
Kevin's
that.
house is gonna be like
Society
a
was.
boot camp.
Well, honestly, yeah, I'm going to discipline the crap out of them.
No birthdays.
Oh, come on. They're going to celebrate birthdays.
I'm gonna celebrate birthdays. And Chris, anyway,
Wait, your kids aren't gonna have a birthday?
they're not gonna know when Kevin's birthday
They're
is.
not gonna have a
No,
birthday
I won't tell my
party.
kids what birthday. They won't celebrate my birthday, but I'll celebrate my kids' birthday.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. So for Christmas, I got the new iPad with the iPad Pencil. It's pretty dope.
Oh, I've always
and
wanted one.
free.
And it came with Apple TV for free for a full year.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
And so yeah, that's pretty freaking amazing.
$60 value.
Get
For free. Thank you,
free.
Apple.
All you have to do is buy
Shout
a
out,
$1,000 iPad and you get.
$60 value.
You get
Value.
free Apple TV for a year. Worth it. All right.
Worth it.
Get the
Is an
$60
iPad
value.
a grand?
Is,
I have no
right?
idea.
It's probably more than.
I think it's more than a
It's
grand.
basically like a laptop.
No, there's no
I don't
way
know
it's
if
a
it,
grand.
I don't know
Well,
if
you
it's
can
more
like
than a grand.
edit.
Nah.
You can edit photos.
You can do some
Honestly,
serious stuff with it, but it doesn't have
You
a
can do all
keyboard.
kinds of awesome stuff. You can get there's no keyboard, but you can do all kinds of awesome things to it. It's
Right.
I freaking love it.
That whole thing, like the sketch app.
Yeah,
or
Sketchpad,
something like
yeah,
The stuff you
Yeah.
can do with like the pencil and
It's
like in
insane.
Illustrator and stuff is actually like a lot of tattoo artists like will just draw tattoos on their iPad
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's actually
It
sick.
I've had a
is
tattoo
freaking
artist do
amazing.
that.
Yeah, but
Actually.
like I'm really excited because once I start like leading youth lessons and stuff here, I can have my laptop sitting in the back with like the music, or, like the sound booth and everything, and I can control everything from my iPad up front. So like that's what I'm really excited for.
Oh,
is that,
that's
like,
cool.
I can sync it
Dude,
to
Apple's
that,
the best.
And Apple's amazing. I love
Apple.
products. All right, so then for Christmas dinner, we have like this family tradition where the whole family gets together. Like my mom's side, my dad's side, everybody comes together and we all eat dinner, hang out. We do like a white Christmas or like a white elephant gift exchange kind of thing for Christmas. But we do like this different kind of take on it where my aunt like makes up this story, and so like anytime it says left or right, you have to pass your gift to the left or to the right. And so like you don't really fight over gifts. Like like open one and you can either steal it or it's just
I've
gets
experienced
passed
this
around.
one
Yeah,
before,
it's pretty
yeah.
fun. We do that. And then we also eat duck. And so Chris
Oh yeah.
Culpepper, if you are listening
Luke.
to this, Luke,
Sorry.
I ate a duck and it was
Don't worry, buddy.
amazing.
I'll avenge him. Don't you worry, Chris.
It was. I love eating duck. We only eat it at Christmas time with like this orange marmalade sauce on it. Oh my gosh, it is. It's dark meat and it's freaking amazing.
What's the better holiday, Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Christmas. Are you
For
kidding me?
sure.
Christmas is
I
better.
don't even care about Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving kind of blows.
I like
It does.
Thanksgiving because I like to hang out with my family.
Yeah,
Well,
I like the
but-
whole.
and,
I
like,
like my
that's
days
cool.
off on
See,
Thanksgiving.
that's why I hate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a week off from from school and work.
Yeah. But those people that like it shows you how much people value Christmas because they are decorating Christmas on Thanksgiving Day.
Right,
They're
Pretty much.
putting up trees after
dude. Oh my
Thanksgiving
gosh.
dinner.
If I could, I would put my tree up the day after Halloween. That's how much I love Christmas.
I
Like,
hate that.
I hate that
my
too.
Tree, my
Yeah, you
tree
guys are
stays
doing
up
that.
until
Who's doing
beginning
that?
of the year.
Everyone, I saw posts about it 24/7 from everyone.
Dude, oh my
like,
gosh.
They were just like,
If I could and I like people wouldn't judge me,
I judge you hard.
I
on
do
that.
value
like
Thanksgiving.
all
I
my
like when
Christmas
people
decorations, the lights outside of the tree, everything stays up until the beginning of the year.
That's
I like
just-
when people put Christmas lights up outside their house, and I do kind of wish that would last longer.
I enjoy.
And I wish more
Too.
people
Right.
did it.
Yeah, I did too. Like
I just
don't
want.
care about
that's
your
another
tree.
thing that I like to
Do
do
whatever
with
the hell
Mason.
you want inside your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing I like to do with
I
Mason
know.
is him and I, we drive around
I
town and we look at Christmas lights on people's houses.
Now,
It's
My
what
just-
do you-
parents are old.
I
and
used
they
to
love
do
doing
that. I used to do that, but then I decided
it
I
as
don't
a
really
kid.
I don't really care
my parents did it with,
about
with
Christmas
me and my
lights. I don't know.
brothers.
No, I like when you're like just driving through your neighborhood and there's Christmas.
Yeah,
lights.
yeah.
It's
My
a
parents
cool
did
vibe.
that
That
with-
it's cool.
Yeah, my parents did that with me and my brothers, and I loved it. Like we would always go out to dinner and like drive around town, just look at lights. So now I'm keeping that going with Mason, and so we drive around town and we judge and see who has the best lights in town.
I see.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Would you like to see Christmas lights after Halloween?
yeah.
Well,
Hands down.
Hmm.
All right, so
I'd be down. I don't think people should take them down right after Christmas.
I don't think so. I think
Most
it should
people
stay
put
up.
them up after Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and it lasts till the day of Christmas. Keep them up to like.
New Year's.
New Year's, dude.
New Year's.
If you're
okay,
gonna
that's
do
only
it,
a week more.
keep
Yeah,
it up
just a
for
week more.
keep it up.
You can
I
keep
mean-
them up till through January.
I do think like some
I don't
people,
I just
some
want
people
to
who like
forget.
take their lights down and stuff the day after Christmas
Yeah.
is like when like
I respect
their
those people.
in-laws and stuff are in town. So the guy's like, I'm just gonna go outside and not deal with family, and then he's just outside taking down Christmas. He doesn't deal with. Like, the
I
in-laws
never
and
thought
stuff.
of it like that.
That's
way, but
that's things that I
brilliant.
think of. Yeah, like oh, I gotta go take down the Christmas lights, so he doesn't have to deal with like his family and all the chaotic.
Isn't
stuff.
that
He
the
just
plot to what's that movie?
Christmas
Lampoon's-
Vacation?
Christmas Vacation. Yeah, you son of a.
well, it's not really the plot. He wanted to
Yeah,
have
it's
like
not the plot, but that's what he
yeah.
does.
He,
right?
there is a joke where he's like, I'll be outside for the
Yeah,
season.
yeah,
We
All
watched
right,
this-
Austin. Go for it.
No,
Go ahead,
What were you
Austin.
about to say?
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
What were you going to say?
So what I did for Christmas was I went over to my girlfriend's grandparents' house, and I had lunch with all of them. And there was a lot of people there that I didn't know, but her whole family was there, and I didn't actually expect them to like all get me stuff, like her family. And so like I got this like cool sweater. I got this hydro flask mug.
Ooh,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I got.
that's a dope mug.
Nice,
Yeah, it's a
dude.
really
nice mug.
It's a really dope mug. I had a really cheap version of this that was
Shout
like
out
breaking.
to the Graham family.
Yeah, the Grams.
Oh yeah.
And so so I got all that, and I got a knife. I got like 6 rolls of HP5 film.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Ilford black and white.
Fives.
So I'm excited to shoot some of that. And then what else did I get? Lizzie's oldest sister, she got me, there's this company called The More Gooder, and he does this thing where he like recycles skateboards, which like tons of people do this, but if you ever look at a skateboard, like they're all 7 plies, and sometimes like specific plies are like dyed like certain colors. So like people will take skateboards and like stack them together, and then you can like cut out like wood, and then you'll see all of these different plies of wood. And if
Right.
you guys look up like Hiroshi or whatever, he's an artist that does this, and he makes some like sick stuff. But there's this guy called the company's name is The More Gooder, and he makes like these little shutter buttons for your film camera, because if you shoot a film camera, you know that the shutter button is kind of recessed into a like, it doesn't pop out at all from the camera really. And so he makes these little buttons that screw into them, and they're made out of recycled skateboards. And
Oh wow.
they just screw right in
Huh.
to the shutter, and to the shutter button. And then she also got me like this little hot shoe cover that's a skateboard, and it's sick. Here, I'll look it up and show you
Nice.
guys.
And the hot shoe is something that goes like
Your hot shoe,
flash.
it's like it holds a
throw
flash.
You throw your flash on top of the hot shoe.
Yeah, and
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
yeah. So check this out. She got me this. It hasn't come in the mail yet, but she was
Oh
like, "What do
my
you want?"
gosh.
So it's like this little hot shoe cover that's a
Yeah,
skateboard.
the thing's-
Yeah,
That's
that's
rad.
super cool.
Yeah, and then like here are the shutter buttons. Like he makes earrings. He makes like spoons. Here, let me show you this one. Do you see it?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
dope, dude.
Yeah, super like rad stuff. Pretty cheap.
Yeah, it is pretty cheap.
I found out about this guy like a couple months ago, and then she was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And then Lizzie was just like, "Oh, that little like hot shoe cover would be dope." And I was like, "Oh, that would be dope." And yeah, so that's what she got me. So I'm stoked to get that in the mail. Thank you, Ashley.
Nicely done, Ashley.
But
You did it.
That is way cool.
yeah, then I went home and I cleaned my whole house. And then everybody came over for Catan. Jared, we missed you solemnly.
Yeah.
And you
I
said
missed
you'd
you
come
guys.
over. Kinda
I wanted to be there. My spirit was there.
Tell us what you did for Christmas then.
I had 2 days of Christmas. Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve we had our service, right?
Yeah.
I want to
Kevin
complain
and I-
about something real quick.
Yeah.
You know how people will like take their birthday and be like, "It's my birthday week," and so now
Oh my
it's your
gosh.
birthday for a whole week.
Right.
Like I have to be nice to you for a whole week.
Heck no.
Yeah.
I have to act like it's your
No
birthday
way.
for a
See,
whole week.
I won't
It's
be.
my birthday
Can we quit
month.
doing this with like birthdays especially, but also holidays? Like we don't need all this. We
Yeah.
don't need to
Well,
make Christmas
I agree.
all of December.
No, not at all.
Well,
Leave
there's
your
some
lights up.
people,
That's
like
cool, though.
Mason, Like he does Christmas with me, then he has Christmas with his mom. then he
That's
has Christmas
different.
at his
That's
parents'.
totally
That's
different.
different. That's
And so he
different.
has,
If
like,
you're
4
in multiple
Christmases within
houses,
different days.
that's 100% different.
So I think it sums up in this perfectly good quote from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And Rosa says, whoever celebrates their birthday after 6 should go to hell.
Well said, Brooklyn Nine.
We've brought this up before, and I still agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I
I
celebrate
black
my birthday.
That's
people
just my
out.
thoughts.
I just black out people that just say it's my birthday week. And I'm just be like,
Those are
all right,
If
cool.
it's your birthday week,
Sure, if that makes you feel
I
better.
kind of feel
I'm
bad
sorry, but
because my mom is definitely one of those people. So
I mean, your mom's so awesome. I love your mom.
have
But
you even met my mom, dude?
I didn't know she says that her birthday week is.
No,
Her
she
birthday
goes
week.
months, dude. She's
oh
birthday
my
month.
gosh, it's her birthday year.
But no, she
you need to be nice to your mom.
she expects
more
my
often.
dad to be nice to her.
Oh,
for a month.
gotcha.
Your dad should be nice to her
all the time. She gets a month.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
yeah. So, anyways,
They love each other.
so on my mom's side, we always celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, and so this Christmas, I got a ton of climbing gear, which I'm so
Nice.
thankful for. I love my mom for doing that.
What'd you get?
I got some climbing rope. I can't remember the brand, but
Doesn't sound like you care.
I got and then I got a throw blanket from my aunt. That was awesome because it's just all outdoor. My whole family just knows me for wanting to go outdoors, and they got me all kinds of stuff to do that. And
Nice.
I'm so excited about it, especially the climbing gear. I'm definitely going to find buddies to want to go to Colorado or even in Albuquerque too.
Why do you have to go find buddies to
Yeah.
do that?
Why can't you just like show us how to climb?
Well,
Have
all
we
my
not
bu-
done that stuff together?
Have you never cared to try to invite us?
Well,
Wow.
here's
Do you
the
not
thing.
like us?
Wow, Jared.
Why are you
Have
here
fun
right
with your
now?
new
Hey.
rope that you don't even care about.
Hey guys, listen. I would love to show you, but it takes a special skill
Oh yeah,
and
that
and
no
it's-
one,
and we cannot,
none of us can
and
learn.
We cannot goof around with this climbing
You
rope
think
I
I-
got.
You think we would give?
All right. If my
I
life
would
was
goof
on the
around.
hands, do you think you would save me?
Yeah.
Are you belay certified?
I'm belay certified.
So am I.
100%.
So you think I'd goof around with it?
Oh,
I'm
Well,
not.
I'm CPR certified. So
I'm not. I'm
so if I
not.
fall and
I'm absolutely nothing certified. You think I'm going for?
I know how to do CPR.
Austin, we'll go climbing because you're certified.
Once I was afraid, I was petrified.
Oh yeah.
No, it's no, it's staying alive.
Staying alive, you
Staying
idiot.
alive,
You got the song wrong. You're not
certified.
qualified. You're not certified.
First I was afraid, I was petrified.
No, it's staying alive. Staying alive. Ooh, staying alive. Staying alive.
Ooh, ooh.
Like, I can just see me just like passed out and Levi's dancing in the back. Stay alive, Jared. Stay alive.
Stay alive,
Just
Jared.
singing the song,
Come on, Jared.
stay alive.
Stay alive.
Not
It's
actually
like
helping him stay
wiping
alive.
sweat off his face with his beanie. Starting to get concerned.
Stay alive.
Suave me.
he takes a drink of water. This is different. This is a lot.
Man, this is a lot of work.
This is a lot. I'm gonna take a break.
I
This
feel
is
you,
great.
Jared.
It's a great day off.
Great day off.
And
The
then,
guy dying on the floor. Nah, dude.
and then Christmas morning. Oh no, actually, we didn't do this tradition, but we always did back in the day, where we always did midnight croquet in like freezing temperatures out there.
Did you not
in
do
my
it?
grandpa's- In my grandpa's.
Did you do it?
yard. No, we didn't though. That was the
Why?
thing. Just times change.
It was freezing. You
It
guys
was
should have done it.
freezing, But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it was kind of a simple Christmas for me, actually, this year, which was great.
Good to hear.
I had a great.
Mine
I had
was
a great
super
time.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine was
And I
too.
want them to be simple.
I love simple
Because to be
Christmases.
honest with you, I don't like holidays.
I
I love it.
despise the idea of gifts.
Speaking of that, Kevin, what'd you get for Christmas?
Yeah, what'd you get?
Yeah. So I had a great Christmas.
A gift of Christmas.
I only got a couple things. Just I I got a couple decals for my car.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Solid.
They're on
are
there.
they?
They're on the car right now.
On the
One-
car.
so one of them is Batman.
Of course.
One of them
For
is
the hood?
nope.
Back window.
That's gonna to do the hood on my car is gonna take a little bit of time. But so I got Batman for the back window. I got Joker for the opposite side of the back window, and then I got one on the bottom of my back window, and it reads, "Real men love Jesus,"
Nice.
and that's a fact.
Amen. No bullet holes.
No bullet holes,
Good.
no spray paint.
You
Good.
didn't get spray paint this
No,
year.
nope.
I don't even know if you should do the hood.
Oh, I'm
Choose
going
this
to,
car.
dude. I'm going
You have a
to.
Mercedes. I don't know if you should
Dude,
do.
don't
I
keep it nice.
don't care.
Keep it classy.
No,
Keep it
dude.
nice.
Don't put the bat symbol on your Mercedes.
I'm going to
Good.
though. I know I am.
Kevin,
I'm
do you
just
believe in
going.
democracy?
I do. I believe. I don't believe in socialism.
But
You guys do not get a vote on my car. That's my point.
all right.
Anyway,
Do what
I
you
got a box. My dad actually got me a box set of Game of Thrones season 8.
No way. Cool.
The worst season.
It was the worst season, but also my dad knows my feelings on it. But he looked at me. He's like, "I just wanted you to complete the series because I have all the
That's
other
cool.
seasons." So
That's
he's
awesome.
like,
Yeah, that's
Shout
cool.
out to your dad.
"Yeah,
That's awesome.
You're going to be like the Book of Eli with Game of Thrones.
yeah." But yeah, my Christmas was really simple. My grandma, my
Me, Mom.
uncle, and my brother came down from Las Cruces.
All right, Jared.
Jared. That's been,
Not
How's
me.
he doing?
Not me.
that's been
Another
wild.
Jared.
Yeah, my brother.
How's he doing?
He's I think he's doing good. He still lives in Las Cruces, just came down. I know he wants to go back to school, but I don't think he can afford it.
Ooh, I thought he graduated.
Yeah, he did
Oh, but he's gonna
graduate,
go for
but
his
he
master's
wants to
He's in
yeah,
medicine, so I mean,
yeah.
those guys
yeah.
are always going back
Yeah,
to
it's
school.
always-
And for the job that he wants, I think he said he had to go back to school to complete that training, and then he can
Dang,
get that
that's
job.
rough.
What'd you get your brother for Christmas?
I did something special this year for him. I got
You
him
didn't get a cup of dirt.
absolutely nothing.
Don't you do like dirt or something?
One year, I got him a box filled with dirt, and he threw it out. So I saw that he threw it out, and I put dirt back in the box. And I'm like, "Hey, bud. Hey, big bro. You left this outside. I don't want you to lose your dirt."
I saw his tweet where he was like, all Christmas, my family's been giving me gifts, and then I open them, and they're like, just kidding, that's not for you.
Oh, okay. That's a funny story, actually. So, yesterday, my grandma wrapped presents for. She bought presents for my dad and for Jared, and she accidentally wrapped them differently, and put my brother's gift in my dad's box and my dad's gift in my brother's box.
that's such
And
a
so when they
nice
opened
thing.
it,
I love that.
my mom looks over and she knows what my
She
grandma
did it on accident?
yeah, my grandma did it on accident. And my mom looks over, and she was there when Nana was wrapping them, or my grandma, and she was like, in the middle of unwrapping gifts, she takes my brother's gift and is like, "That's not for you," and gives it to my dad. And then my dad opened his gift, and my mom just picks up his gift. "That's for you, Jared."
This is all messed up.
Yeah,
This is
she's like-
you. This is for you.
And then my
What
grand
was it?
Oh, just sweatpants and a shirt. Like
Nice.
they just got that mixed up, and then my grandma was like, "What's going on?" she still doesn't know what's happening. And my mom's like, "You mixed up the gifts."
That's insane. That's
awesome.
funny.
I love
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah,
That's a good grandma story.
and here's the last thing I got for Christmas. I got. Actually, I'll just tell this. So for Christmas, I actually asked for 4 brand new tires for my car. They're kind of expensive, so I decided to just ask for.
Oh, this is the best story.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the best
Yeah.
one.
This is the best gift my mom got me. And so I asked for 4 brand new tires.
The tires on Kevin's car are like
They're
bald.
Yeah,
Well,
they're-
he
Yeah.
bought the
There's
car
no
that
So-
way.
way.
Yeah.
Yes, I bought the car with basically bald tires. So I asked for new tires, and so in my stocking, I pull out a Hot Wheel, and on the back of the Hot Wheel was a note, and it read, "Hey, Kev, I know you wanted 4 new tires, but I thought, what the heck? So I bought you a whole car."
I absolutely love that. That's so funny.
And I looked at her, and I was like,
Didn't
I
she say like she
hate
was
this.
gonna buy you tires too or something?
No, well, that's the only thing I asked for.
Oh, okay.
She didn't say she would, but that's her response to me wanting tires.
That is the best story I've ever heard.
Anyway, and that was my Merry Christmas. I ate ham, had a good time.
Cool. That is everyone's Christmas. I feel like Christmas came by really fast.
It really did.
It went by fast.
It
It
was
didn't
like I
even
just,
feel
I
like
just remember
Christmas.
Thanksgiving. I was like, oh man, I feel like Christmas is gonna be right around the corner, and it was.
It was.
It was.
It was here.
Jesus' birthday was right around the corner.
All right. Happy birthday, Jesus.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
big man.
I
Happy
love you,
birthday.
big boy.
All right.
You're a big boy.
You're a
How
big
old
boy.
are you now? Over
Who
2.
Who knows?
You've gotten so big. So tall.
All right. Well,
Alright.
thank you so much for tuning in to Muddy Water Podcast.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure you like us and subscribe to our YouTube,
It was a great day off.
SoundCloud.
Great day off.
Great
I
day.
expect
off.
53 subscribers next week.
That's
53.
right.
52
Every single
subscribers.
Every
And
single
drop
listener.
those comments. We're not going to accept a name
yeah.
unless if there's 20 comments in the bottom.
Whoever has the best comment will receive a sticker
Ooh.
That's a
from
good
Jared.
from Jared. He's the
Jared's
he's
going to make the
guy.
sticker.
We'll make
whoever,
the sticker.
whoever has the, best
catch
comment.
is you got to pay for the sticker.
$100.
And you got to pay for
But
shipping.
we can't make a sticker unless we have a name.
Yeah. Whoever has the best name, best comment.
Drop the names.
We worked really
Gets a
hard
sticker.
too on this logo. It was
That
just
is
like
true too.
Jared and I sitting on my couch next to each other, and he's like, we're an illustrator or whatever, and we're like, and I think the logo looks dope.
I
on
think it's
YouTube.
dope looking.
I watched them do it. I just want to add that.
But the logo
right,
looks.
yeah.
I think the logo looks cool.
Yep.
Uh,
Hey, we can change the name though.
Yeah. I mean, whoever gets the best comment.
I don't mind
They
changing.
will
only
receive a
laying down
sticker.
53 people. It's not that big a deal.
There's gonna
We're
be like
4 of them,
one.
too.
There's gonna be one butt muncher on the YouTube just being like, name it butthole. I'd be like,
Just be
"Please,
appropriate,
get outta
guys.
here."
Be mature.
Be a props when you name it.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Peace out, dudes.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And a
Merry
happy
Christmas.
New Year.
Dashing through the snow.
Jingle balls, jingle balls. I mean, jingle bells.